Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a non-bingo-y rack, but quite a few high-scoring tiles and vowels to go with them, so I will certainly be playing. What if opponent changes? Well, I have fix and I also have mixy. Opponent doesn't change. Now, can I get the X to play twice? Fleg is good. So I can play fix across here. I am keeping M and Y. I'd rather keep just one high-scoring tile, but M and Y do go well together. And 37 points is a decent score. I'm not going to get close to that anywhere else. Is that right? I think so. I'm going with this. Well, not a good pickup. The rack goes further away from being a bingo. But I think it's still too good to change. Flag only takes an S, fix takes a T. Row E, quite hot. I could play May in that spot, sorting out the duplicates and playing off two of my high-scoring tiles. I also have the same word in column 7 for a much lower score. But is there a way of playing off the U as well? Because that's pretty non-bingo-y. I've got yum, but that retains double A. Maybe worth doing. IU is good. That would sort out the duplicate Y, play off for U, and avoid duplicate A. No standout play has come to mind. I think Mayor is good. Keeping EUY. So row E quite hot, column 11 hot if you've got a T. And the rest of the board pretty dry. E of fleg, pretty useful floater for a bingo, but not much use as a floater for a non-bingo. No double or triple word squares for non-bingos in that lane. Opponent taking a while with this play. Fairly fast with his initial play. Well, I was waiting for a bingo to come down, but it hasn't. Now look at this, I've got the U for QU, but UX not good. And he's obstructed row E as a lane. I don't have any QA plays, and I have no I. So what about playing IU here? This gives very little away, scores 20 points, and the rack leave is probably the best I could hope for. Well, I feel like I've drawn the tiles I've just played, and indeed I have drawn an A and a U, and a vowel to replace the Y, so rack remaining non-bingo. Fortunately, I lead, otherwise opponent could be zooming off into the distance. Now I have an I for Chi, so do I have a play in column 10? Well, I have mix, but the rack leave is pretty atrocious. I'd like to do better than that. So, still no T for fixed. Cole takes a Y. What about playing IU again? 22 points. Not a great rack leave, however, all bingo-y tiles, so if I draw consonants, I could be bingoing. And if I draw vowels, well, I've got the M as a scoring tile to keep scoring rather than changing. Is there anything better than this, though? I don't think there is. I think it's quite useful being able to get rid of the Y and the U, and I'm just seeing no other alternative plays, and this sets up nothing for opponent. IU takes nothing in front. I guess there's row L, but that's going to, in turn, provide a lot for me. I'm going with this. Well, I draw one consonant, two vowels, so it could be a vowel shortage at the end of the game. The consonant I've drawn is a scoring tile, which increases the likelihood of me being able to play through this rather than changing. I have Impy on my rack. What about a play through the X? I have Ixia, that's quite nice, sorting out the vowels and scoring well. Wow, bingo for opponent, goes into the lead. I'm not able to reply in kind. Let me confirm that. I have a T and an S floater. Wow, what about the S? Is epimesia good? What am I confusing that with? Well, I don't think that has the right number of A's and I's in any event, so I don't think there's anything through the S. What about the T? No, so this is what I was thinking of. Ixia for 22, keeping a balanced rack. I'm setting up an N spot, but if opponent uses that, opponent will probably be providing floaters. Yeah, but Ixia is quite nice because my M and P could be part of a 6-letter play in row H, such as Ampere. I'm going with this. Well, what have I drawn? I've drawn an I, and the rack still feels vowel heavy. Floating S still available, but I'm not seeing a bingo through that. Retaining 2 high-scoring tiles reduces the chances of having a bingo, and I'm just not seeing one. Nor am I seeing a row H play. There may be one there, but it's not come to mind. I have no N for chin. What I do have is a horse in the race because I only trail by 15. Now surely if I make the right play here, I'll be able to leave a decent rack leave. Even a play of Impy wouldn't be too bad, AET, and I could play that in row L. Is there really nothing through the S? I have the ism ending. No, I have Amatiz, but that's not a bingo. 33 for opponent, and he's taken out all of the floaters. Now, do I have a play in row M, a 5-letter play? Annie is good, Kip is good. Well, I've got Pia, which has merit. It's 26 points, the rack leave is good. I'm setting up a new lane in row N because Kip takes an E and an S. I'm not giving anything amazing to opponent. Row M still available for bingos ending S or O. Now pan is good and man, so what about a play over the top of card? I don't think I have one because I don't have a tile to go in front of ET. Can I extend Pia? Well, if I had an N, I could have Piani. But I don't. So an E could go after AN, so I could have a PEA play. Det and Dem not good, so this isn't going to go any further. I'm going with this. Well, not good at all. I draw W and H, so definitely a non-bingo rack. However, I have width on my rack, and that plays in row L. And I quite like the idea of that because it is going to score well. It's going to sort my rack out. Opponent's just gone there. Okay, that's frustrating. He's now got a 60-point lead. What I also liked about playing in row L is the creation of bingo lanes. So what am I going to do? Do I have anything through the A? No, not that I can see. What about through the V? Unlikely. What about column 2? Do I have any WHO plays, which are 5 letters long? Well, I'm not sure I do. I've got whom, but that's just not long enough. So I have wild. Quite tempted by this. Turns over a lot of tiles, creates new bingo lanes in columns 2 and 4. Doesn't provide anything massive for opponent. And is not reckless, and 30 points a decent score. That's half a bingo. I am going with this. Okay, so rack finally looking a little closer to bingo territory. But no floaters on the board. Still no N for chin. That's such a nice spot for whoever gets an N, and there are 5 to come. And still 2 blanks to come. So quite tempting to turn over tiles. Although this is quite a nice rack, it's not totally amazing. Well, opponent takes that spot, 36 points. I trail by 40. Now, I have Grivet in column 1, which just misses both triple word squares. What else do I have? I have Verl, but I don't want to keep G and M. Manny is good, but nothing goes in front of Eta that works with an M. Can I extend Pier? Not really. So, what do I have through this V? I have Merv, which again misses triple word squares. Not easy. The V isn't a dangerous tile. I don't have to take it out. But what am I going to do to sort this rack out? I need to be bingoing fairly soon. And I don't have a play in column 12. 12 minutes on my clock, 39 tiles in the bag. What about a play through the D? Well, interesting. I don't like M or G with this rack. What I can do is this for 28 points, decent score. Good rack leave. Row is a lane, but it's not a massively useful lane. Any non-bingo is going to score a fairly average score, and columns 2 and 4 are pretty much the only bingo lanes, so it's helpful to create new ones. I'm going with this. Well, I dodged the blanks and the vowels. Well, there's still quite a few vowels to come, despite the earlier glut. Now, what am I going to do here? I guess I've got Jet in column 12. 29 points, pretty good. Pretty horrible rack leave, very dependent on drawing vowels. I don't have anything in row O. Through OS, I would have Gjettost. So, any alternative to Jet? 39 points, pretty good, not devastating. The Jet spot remains available. And this is quite nice because it's creating a hot spot at the top of the board, including a bingo lane. And it leaves the bingo lanes in column 2 and 4 alone. I'm still mindful that this board is fairly non-bingo-y, and I trail. So 29 points, definitely better than changing. I could have a bingo next turn, but I'm very dependent on drawing a blank or some vowels. And Jet is just gifting a really nice spot for opponent, so let me just put this back. 11 minutes on my clock. Is there really nothing better? And I don't have to play the J straight away. Gita is good, but I don't have a vowel for going in front of DE. Wild takes nothing in front. I think I am going to go with Jet for 29. And I draw all consonants, so pretty grim stuff. I trail by 40. And I will be changing, and I'm changing 5, keeping R and T. unless some opportunity arises, which I'm not currently seeing. Opponent surely will play in column 13, but that must create a new bingo lane in column 14, and there are still the lanes to the left of the board, so I can change and have options. Wow, 55 for opponent. Ita only takes an S. And I draw a first blank. Pretty good. And some vowels. Do I have a bingo? Well, it's columns 2 and 4, where it's likely to play. Quite a few duplicates, and all the vowels I have are the less bingo-y ones. Let me run through the alphabet. I don't think there are any floaters to have in mind, so I'm just looking for 7s. Not seen anything so far. Daughter. I have daughter. Does that play? It doesn't. That's a shame. Well, no, just looking around the board in case there are any lanes I've missed. Now, what about the E? I have the out prefix and the euro prefix. Not seeing anything there. Useful that opponent is taking a while on this play while I run through the alphabet. Wow, great bingo for opponent. Has he provided a spot for daughter? No, he hasn't. Let me finish running through the alphabet. So only daughter so far. No, not seeing anything here. So what to do? I've only got 1 point tiles. And I'm not looking to turn over tiles. I just need to sort this rack out. So I have OR for 18 points. This rack leave isn't too bad. It goes well with the blank as an S for column 14. And just generally it's not too bad. Only 1 O and no U's to come. The danger of trying to get rid of more vowels is that I just end up with another massive consonant heavy bag. And also I like taking out, well, what about playing off one more? OT not good. The advantage of taking out the middle triple word square is that opponent may take out the top one and create floaters. So I am going with this. Great, I am surely bingoing now. I have Santua in column 14. Rue does take an S. So I have roots in column 4. So finally I am bingoing my first one of the game. But is it too late? Yes, it is. I trail by 150. Only 14 tiles in the bag. They're not massively unbingoy, but they're not massively bingoy either. No blanks, S's to come, and only 2 E's. So what's the best I can do with this rack? No S's, so if I don't play in column 14, that then becomes a dead lane. Well, I think I need to accept that this game is lost. So is there a play ending SE or SO? Don't think so. Are there any other lanes I haven't considered? Fez takes nothing. Jet takes nothing. So opponent obstructs column 4. I'd much rather play in column 4. It's going to score more than column 14, and column 14 is going to open access to column 15. So what do I have through this E? It looks quite a useful floater with my rack. But the E has got to be in quite a precise position. So recounts. cornutes, counters, tonsured, I suspect I'll be missing quite a few here, but I do have Santua in my back pocket. Routines, Monchers, Mounters, Remounts, gosh, I feel there is one here, but I'm not seeing it. No, so the only bingo I can see is Santua for 64. And I have a pretty non-bingo-y rack. I have Abwat on my rack as a nice 6. 3 tiles in the bag, and the unseen tiles pretty bingo-y, so I mean, it could be about to lay down another bingo. I've got what in row D. What do I have in row H? Well, my W, well, that's where opponent's gone. He's emptied the bag, and there are 6 tiles in the bag. So, what to do? I've got what in this spot for 26, keeping ban. Can I go out with ban? I have snap, bottom of column 13, and bant in column 6 and 7, so I can go out with this rack. Is there a better out sequence for me? Only an E can go to the right of an R, so I don't have a column 15 play. I have swab in column 13, but I don't think that's going to leave a decent rack. It'll leave tant, which is I'm going to struggle to play. I'm going with what? I could play want, keeping bat. I don't think that's any better. So opponent doesn't have a great final rack. Not that that will concern him much. He's got a 100-point lead. Just 20 points. So where's the best for... Oh, well, I have nab here. That is surely going to be the best spot for 21 points. Banny is good, but I don't have an out in that spot. I'm going with this. And the final score, 355 to me, 458 for my opponent, a winning margin of 103 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. An absolute thrashing. Could I have done anything about it? So, opponent to go first, plays leg, and I have facts and fix for 37, probably not much between those, although I prefer my play. Well, except facts doesn't take any hooks, whereas fix takes a T, which would be an argument in favour of it, but I think my rack leave is better than the facts leave. Now, opponent's rack plays chi, so this was the rack he spent a very long time over. Chi's a nice play, the remaining 6 tiles are quite bingo-y. My rack, and I play IU, G7. Yep, that was my play, and I like it. Opponent doesn't have a bingo, plays coal. And now I have IU again, and the alternative of Maya for 6 more points is not worth doing. AEIM is 6 points better than EIU. EIU must be worth about minus, I would say maybe minus 10 of that order. AEIM is negative, but maybe only minus, well, yeah, it could be minus 5. So maybe there's only a 5-point difference, but certainly AEIM is a much nicer rack leave than EIU. So if the moves are close, I prefer the play with the better rack leave. Now, great rack for opponent. Plays Points. Phew, I was waiting for Epimysia or something similar to crop up, and it didn't. So I play Ixia for 22. I could have got the same score, K11, by playing Amia, which takes an S. So I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, I think Ixia is a better play. The only downside that it's keeping 2 scoring tiles, but they do have some synergy. Now, horrible rack for opponent. Plays card. Wow, keeping both Vs. Very brave. Now, what do I have here? Well, I play Pia for 26 and nothing obviously better. Opponent has Vol, which sorts out his Vs nicely and scuppers my width play. And I play Wild for 34, Ethmoid, H2. Yeah, so getting the H tripled and the word doubled, but placing an E next to this triple word square and retaining the W, so I prefer my play. Opponent plays Finn. Now, I thought my luck was changing and this felt bingo-y, but I couldn't see one. H10 Armlet, that's nice. 33 points. What do I do? Mid-leg for 5 fewer, keeping a better rack leave. But mid-leg provides access to row O, so Armlet possibly having the edge there. Opponent plays Oakard to take a 70-point lead. Now, this was a rack I struggled with. I went with Jet. I didn't like it, but there's nothing obviously better. Wow, opponent plays Tsar and could have played Saz. But Tsar scores 55 points. But opponent has 2 S's. Saz probably better, but not terribly much between them. The second S, although generally disposable, i.e. worth almost nothing, definitely helps EISU because it helps the vowel consonant balance. So in hindsight, I think, on reflection rather, I think Tsar is a better move. Now, here we go. I trail by about 100 and I have this awful rack and I change and I'm still happy with that play. Opponent bingos with Souties. And now I don't have a bingo. And I play OR for 18. And I like that. This is a nice rack lead. Opponent's rack plays Goma. And now I play Santua, which is down here. What was available, B4. Out earns, that's the play I was looking for through the E. And A4, Nitrius also available through that. And F12. Rotundust through DE. Wow. Well, glad to get a bingo down. Opponent plays Doab. And now D4. Nawab, that's nice, getting the B doubled. But keeping double T, I'm not sure I could be sure of going out with that, although net is good. And a double T is good, so I could go out with that. I play what? Opponent plays N. And finally, Nab for 21 is best, and I wouldn't have scored anything like that with double T. So, what a game. I don't think there were any major mistakes in there. Possibly armlet instead of mid-leg would have created a different game, but difficult to say. But nonetheless, always good to play Scrabble, and every rack is interesting and presents its own challenges. So all good fun. Many congratulations to my opponent on his victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.